Something like traveling or music or even books, they transport you in a different world altogether. And then once you're back to reality, you are much more fresh than what you were earlier.
Yeah. Wonderful. So coming to books, right? If you were to write a book, what would that be about?
Oh, so it's a funny thing. Like, I keep writing mini memoirs, and I've been actually journaling since 2004 or something. So I journal a lot, and it's been many years. I've been maintaining short excerpts of different things. So I can actually go back to a specific day in 2004 and I can figure out what I was doing back then. So I keep writing small excerpts, and I think one of the latest things I've been working on recently is, I wouldn't call it a memoir, but it's kind of a memoir where I've been documenting how the journey of building company has been. So it's not from I don't want to publish anything as such. It's just for my own sake. And I like to kind of go back sometimes in time and see what I had written on that particular day, how I felt on that day. And it helps me get a better grasp on myself as a person. And it helps me grow in future as well. And also motivates me that, remember that day I was thinking everything is falling down, but then it worked out. So it also kind of motivates you to feel like, okay, everything will work out in the end. That's what I've been working on off late. I've been just writing the journey of how this company has started and how we've moved till now. And let's see how this goes in the future as well.
Yeah, and like in my work with a lot of CEOs and leaders, what I often try to communicate is that self-reflection or any kind of self-awareness is a very powerful leadership tool, right? And journaling is one of the ways to actually get more aware. So now that you mentioned that, I'm so glad. Can you share a little bit more on the tacticals of it, right? So when you're journaling, how does it impact you in the short term, and how does it impact you in the long term?
Now, that's a very valid question, and I think in the short term, journaling is more, I think, from a stress management perspective, right? And you'll notice that if you journal, if you've had a super amazing day and you're super happy, you may or may not want to journal. But if you're really, really depressed or you're really, really upset on something, you will definitely journal that day. Because so in a short term, it really helps you in stress management. It puts your thoughts on paper or on a notepad or whatever you're writing it on. It kind of echoes your thoughts. At the same time, sometimes while you're writing your thoughts down, you get solutions to those problems automatically, because you've been writing those down, and while writing you start thinking that, okay, maybe this is the right solution, maybe you can try this tomorrow, day after, and then see if that pans out or not. So from a short-term perspective, it's really good for stress management. It's almost like meditating. In the long term, I think it helps you become a better person, and like you said, self-reflection. It helps you understand yourself better, because as a human, I'm a little philosophical in these things. I'm very fascinated with the human psyche, and I've seen that as a human, what you were a year ago is not the same as what you are today. So you keep evolving as a single person in terms of your mentality, in terms of your thought process. You might be very pro something 6 months ago, and today you might be completely against it. Tomorrow you might just completely change your thought process around it as well. So it helps you identify what made you think in a certain way back then, and how it has impacted you and changed you as a person today. And it also makes you realize that the only constant in life is change. So it makes you more accepting challenges. It makes you more accepting of change, and it makes you feel that, okay, things will eventually work out in the end. So it just helps from a long-term perspective.
Thank you. I think you summed it up so nicely. I'm going to take a short clipping, and then anybody who asks me about journaling, why journaling, I will share that this the last 2 or 3 minutes of clipping with you. But I think it's a much needed skill. It's much useful skill, as you said, and many times simply putting your thoughts on paper can help you clarify and then find the solutions. But like the inner growth, the personal growth, you cannot even talk about how valuable that is, both short term and long term. So thank you for sharing that.